Aho Shinawana Honata. Aho Shinawana Hey. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Mother. Thank you, power and guidance of the medicine wheel and all my relations. Aho Mitakuyasi. All my relations. Aho Mitakuyasi. All my relations. Aho Mitakuyasi. All my relations. Aho. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Sabbath day. Aho. My name is Walking Crow, and I am the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. And I'm going to sing a song, Wana Washé. And there's a reason that I'm going to sing Wana Washé. And then we're going to have a conversation about something that I've been having a conversation about all week long. Aho. And it's no surprise. Anyways. So, Wana Washé, Wana Washé, Wana Washé, Wana Washé. Wana Washé, 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 Wana Washé. Wana Washé, 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 Wana Washé. Wana Washé, 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 Wana Washé. Oh, Shinakate, Hu Yinakate, Hu Shinakate, Hu Kenaya, Asenakate, Hu Wana Washé, Wana Washé, Wana Washé, Wana Washé. Aho, Wana Washé, everybody. Let go of the past. It no longer serves. Let go of the past. It no longer serves. Let go of the past. It no longer serves. Wana Washé. Oh, but I've already done the work. Oh, I've already dealt with that. Oh, I've already done this. I've already done the shadow work. Hear what I'm saying? I'm going to call you out because I see it and you wear it on your sleeve. It's sitting right here and it's sitting right here and you have a broken heart. And if you have a big gut, you're showing me that you have low or no self-esteem. Aho! Pay attention to the emotional body. Because I've been having conversations all week since I was in Los Angeles and before and way beyond. And people like to say, I've been doing the shadow work. I've been doing the shadow work. Well, going to a bowl session isn't doing shadow work. Doing a cacao ceremony isn't doing shadow work. Doing ceremony with me is not doing shadow work. Going into your closet and dealing and feeling with the pain. Excuse me a second, I gotta turn something off. Dealing with the pain, healing the feeling the healing. Just because you say you did something doesn't mean that you did it. How do you pick partners? Do you keep picking partners that are bad for you, that are terrible for you, that insult you, that put you down, and then you make excuses for them and excuses for yourself? Do you have shitty relationships with your mother or your father, and you pick relationships that are your mother or your father, and then you say, oh, I did the work with my mother and father, and blah, 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 but there you are in that shitty relationship where you picked your mother and your father. I'm gonna let that soak in for a little bit. Can you? Do you? I spoke with a young man yesterday who was justifying his relationship with his mother. But he's in an abusive relationship with somebody who abuses him, like his mother used to abuse him. And he keeps saying, yeah, but I healed that. No, you didn't, because you chose her to be a partner. Low self-esteem will pick low-hanging fruit. Let me say that again, because Walking Crow said it today, Saturday, March 9th, 9 is a number of spiritual completion. You pick that partner because they are low-hanging fruit and you have low or no self-esteem. You cannot sit in front of me and explain your life away with yeah, but, and I did, yeah, but. When I was in Alcoholics Anonymous, because I went to those meetings for a long time because I had no self-esteem. I had no self-worth. I had no power. So I had to drink. I had to drug. I had to do all those things. But what I learned there was listen to the still small voice. Not the rhetoric of the world, what everybody else has to say. I've been married 3 times, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking from a place of experience of healing the feeling, and I don't blame my ex-wives for being them. I don't blame them for choosing me, choosing a man who didn't know how to be in relationship. I can't blame myself for not knowing how to be in relationship and choosing poorly and choosing my mother. I don't blame myself, and I don't blame my mother. I don't blame my wives. I healed after the fact the situation with my mother, and now I'm able to not make choices that I didn't know how to make before. I would choose poorly, Grasshopper. Grasshopper always chose poorly because I didn't know how to be in relationships. I didn't know how to be in relation with my breath, my heart, my soul, my feet, my ground, my water, my fire, my air. I had no ability. I had no idea. I was obese. I was 238 pounds, and every bit of that wounded child was in that 238-pound man. And those of you who think being obese and fat is cute, it's not. It shows every wound in your body. My doctors kept telling me that your optimal weight, Anthony, is 160 pounds, and I would say, that's too skinny for me. I'm not, my frame is too blah, blah, blah. And then when I got to 160 pounds, without trying, it just happened when I became the healer. I started to talk and I started to shed all that hurt and those wounds and that pain. And the weight started to come off. The walls started to come down. Da 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 da. And they blew their horns. Da 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 da. And the walls came down. The angels, the heavens blew their horns, and my walls came down, and I went from 238 pounds to 168 pounds almost overnight. not with diet, not with eating in a certain way. Well, I did eat a certain way because I was changing, I was morphing, I was evolving. I was evolving. And I started to speak my truth, and I started to cry, and I started to heal the feel and feel the heal. And I allowed myself to let go of what I was holding on to, of my kung fu grip. A lot of you have kung fu grip. Oh, I already did that. Oh, really? Why do you have that husband? Why do you have that boyfriend? Why do you have that situation? Why are you still at that job? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Choose to look at yourself. I sat with a young lady the other day, a remote session. We had a short remote session. And I said to her, I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that they overlooked before. I was speaking about her family because her family they ignored her. And she suffered all her life through. She's 55, I think, 54. And she suffered. And I said to her, sing this song. Look in the mirror and sing, I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that I overlook no more. I don't overlook me. I don't care what anybody else in the world dismisses me or overlooks me or thinks I'm out of my mind because I speak the way I speak. But people will, with low self-esteem, no power, will pick me apart because they can't. Because they can't stand on their own 2 feet, because they have no foundation, they are not rooted, and they are not fruited like I am. I walk in my power. I walk in my power, not the power of what my girlfriend thinks of me, or my boyfriend thinks of me, or what my parents think of me. Fuck them. How many of you can say the serenity prayer in short term? Fuck them. You can't. Because you're dependent on what they think. You're dependent on what they believe about you. You don't know how to believe anything about you, and I'm here to tell you so. Aho. How many of you have a rattle? How many of you know my practices? Why do I play the rattle? Because the rattle removes you from the monkey mind, the voices, the static energy that you live in, up in here. Astronauts wear spacesuits to live up in here. But you'll choose to live there. And you'll smoky poo, and you'll smoky poo, and you'll eaty poo, and you'll drinky poo, and you'll make excuses for yourself. And you get fatty poo and obesity poo. Oh my God, I will make excuses of why. Oh, my thyroid. Really? Do you talk about the abuse that you received as a child? No. Well, you don't have a thyroid problem. I look at the emotional body and I walk you to the gateway of where you want to be. Are you looking for a healing of the feelings, the broken feelings that you had that nobody cared about, and you don't know how to care about them? I can teach you how to care about them because I care about me. Aho. Somebody sent me a thing yesterday that I guess it could have hurt my feelings, and it didn't. What they said to me was, you do not serve, this relationship doesn't serve me, is what they said to me. And I thought to myself, oh, wow, you're still dealing with your daddy issues. Because they've got daddy issues that they don't deal with. They've got daddy issues and they're waiting for daddy to die. And he's not going to change, but they won't do anything about their daddy issues. But wait for him to die. Too bad for her. But the young lady I sang to the other day, I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that I overlook no more. I said to her, you were taught to overlook yourself. You were taught to sidestep yourself, to bypass yourself. How many of you bypass yourself with your silly talk? I teach a class called Healing the Language of Lack and Lineage. And I have probably done it for the last time a couple of weeks ago, online, live. You know why? Because those of you who tell me you're going to show up for that, who want me to do that, don't show up because you're afraid that you might have to do something for yourself. and you make excuses of why you didn't show up, and your excuses are none of my business. Your excuses are your business because you have low or no self-esteem. Read my lips. You have low or no self-esteem. And what are you willing to do about it? Gossip with your girlfriends about somebody else's problems? Wait for Friday so you can have 2 glasses of wine that turn into 2 bottles of wine. They're turned into 2 days of misery, and then you're back at it again on Monday, right? Back to the job that you hate, back to the drive to the job that you hate, back to the family that you hate, the boyfriend that you hate, the husband that you hate. But you made all those choices to do all those things because you don't know how to choose what's good for yourself on Tuesday. Aho. Every day is Tuesday. What will you choose today that's better than what you chose yesterday, last week, last month, last year, last decade? Aho. Last decade, last millennium. Aho. My life has transformed from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. I was never hopeless. I was only helpless. I asked for help and I remain hopeful. Aho shinawana honata. Aho shinawana hey. Look at the smile on my face. You guys have seen me at my best, and you guys have seen me at my worst. When I had 9 teeth pulled, I came home and I did a video and talked about, without my partials in, talked about being in my power and vulnerable at the same time. And people who were listening around the world reached out because they were in low or no self-esteem and they were in a lot of pain and they had questions for me. And I was willing to answer the questions. When will you answer the questions for yourself and not answer because you're in fear of what you might say to yourself? Aho, I'm giving you the smudgy poo. I'm giving you the smudgy poo. So, I know what I'm saying is harsh. And those of you who keep choosing crappy relationships, crappy jobs, crappy boyfriends, crappy girlfriends, crappy friends who gossip behind you about behind your back. I live in Sedona. A lot of you know that. And I am really isolated in Sedona. I isolate myself from the craziness and the stupidity here in Sedona. Sedona is a spiritual place filled with a lot of foolish people. What? What did you say? Sedona is a very spiritual place filled with foolish people. They try to find spirituality under every rock they turn over or they put in their pocket or take home or every vortex, but they don't even take the time to go inside. They get to Sedona, they get out of their car and they're on the trail. We have to hike, but they take no time to honor the red earth that they're going to walk on. They're not even grounded. Even though they're hiking, they're not grounded because in their head about, we got to go to the Talaki-Paki. We got to go eat. We got to go do this event. We got to do that event. When do you ground? When are you in your body and not in your head? I'm calling you out because I had to call myself out after a lifetime of dog paddling in the shallow end. I dog paddled in the shallow end and I couldn't get out of the pool. I couldn't find the steps. So after a period of time, the Spirit showed me how to broad stroke and I moved into the deep end and I started to swim on my own. And I started to feel inept less. I started to grow my esteem. I taught myself how to breathe into my fire, stoke my fire. And I'm starting to burp because I feel your hearts. I can feel you that are being affected by what I'm saying. So I learned to breathe into my sternum, into my fire. And when I stoke that fire with my beautiful breath, it expands the air in my lungs and my heart. And then I exhale and I take another breath, and that fire expands, and more expansion in my chest. And it starts to heat the water in my second chakra, and that starts to overflow and boil and bubble into my root chakra to nurture my root chakra. And then steam starts to rise, esteem, as I take those breaths, and esteem starts to rise and clears out the mucus in my fifth chakra behind my eyes and nose that keep me floating up in the ethers, aho, up in here, up in here. And as I start to speak about the things that happen, because I'm getting clarity because of the esteem, the rise of esteem from the second chakra, connection to myself, my nose starts to run and the mucus starts to run. That mucus has been blocked here, that's been keeping my voice quiet from having a broken heart for a lifetime. How many of you have had a broken heart for a lifetime and want to be free from the bondage of self? Alcoholics Anonymous talks about that all the time. I am free from the bondage of self. I am self-contained. I do not even have a job. How do I move through life? I walked away from the corporate world because the corporate world was killing me. How many of you actually do what you love? You'll say you do what you love. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Right? We grew up with these kind of sayings. I'm looking over, liar, liar, pants on fire. We grew up with that stuff. But are we really paying attention? Have we really paid attention to our own suffering? Over the years, since I became the healer, I would say, I'm no longer Buddhist. And my friends and my clients would say, I didn't know you were a Buddhist. I said, I'm not. I'm just done suffering. I'm not going to suffer anymore. And I made every stride possible to not suffer, which included not making excuses or other people's excuses for myself. Because you people will make other people's excuses for yourself, because that's the way you learn to speak from your broken lineage. Let me say that again. That's the way you learn to speak from your broken lineage. Aho, aho. I am the repair in my lineage. My father died on September 6th. He was an alcoholic. He was probably drunk 97% of my life. I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything for him. But what I can do for him and my family, or what I did was, on December, not on purpose, December 6th, I was arrested for DUI. And on January 3rd, I went before Judge Michael Knight, Division 101, Van Nuys Muni Court in Van Nuys, and was convicted of wet reckless DUI. I was sent to Alcoholics Anonymous. And 23 days later, I was sober. That doesn't happen for everybody. That doesn't happen to a lot of people. But I had a spiritual awakening, and I got tired of being sick and tired of being behind the 8 ball all the time. And I was high that day. I went to a morning meeting that Sunday morning. It was Super Bowl Sunday. And then I went to a party, and I was smoking dope, and I was drinking Tecate, and I was eating carne asada with tortillas and Mexican food. And at halftime, I said, what am I doing? And I threw $5 into the basket for some Diet Coke, and I haven't looked back since. What am you talking about, Walking Crow? I broke the chain that I chose to break of my lineage. I am the broken link in the chain of my lineage. I changed the path going forward. How many of you claim to change the path and you're still doing the same old shit, talking the same old shit? Yeah, some of you are going to get pissed off at me. That's okay. That's okay. Right, DB Bunker? The cycle of abuse. never mind the abuse from somebody else, you have learned how to be self-abusive, and you will do that to yourself by overeating, by watching television and being hypnotized by those gurus who talk a lot of talk and take your money, but they don't do anything for you because you don't know how to do anything for you. Wana Washé, Wana Washé, Wana Washé, Wana Washé. And if you want to know what that means, this is a secret of what Wana Washé means. Let go of the past. It no longer serves. Let go of the past. It no longer serves. It no longer serves. It no longer serves. Let go of the past. It no longer serves. I'm going to tell you guys, there is no action in thinking. There is no action in needing. There is no action in wanting. There is no action in making a list and wishing and believing that you did something when you didn't do anything. Being in the doing of the being and being of the doing is being in action. Are you proactive in your heart? Are you proactive in your feet? Are you proactive in your body? Not your mouth, because there's a lot of people out there who pay themselves double talk and lip service. You know who you are, because you're probably nursing a hangover right now from last night because you made it to the finish line. You know, there's a lot of people who joke about being woke and being awake and all that stuff. I'm going to tell you something. I didn't wake up. I came to. I came to out of the darkness, out of my spiritual deficiencies. Alcohol in, right? Spirits in, plural. Spirit, singular, out. I removed the spirits and singular returned, and I am fulfilled. Filled. I am full. Filled. Not F-O-O-L, F-U-L-L, filled. Aho. Those of you who lie to yourself are F-O-O-L, filled. Aho. I'm not full filled. I'm full filled. I'm full. I'm full of spirit. Creator, great spirit, and the ancestors and the ancient ones have seen to bless me with the things that I know and the things that I say and the things that I do. I do what I say and I say what I do. I don't pay myself lip service. I had to teach myself how not to do that because I lived a life of suffering for over 50 years and I suffer no more, no matter what it looks like. I suffer no more. How many of you are willing to do something about the stupid thinking? Do something other than sitting there and pondering, well, maybe I should meditate. Maybe I should sit quietly. No, get into action. There's no action in meditation. I can't quiet my mind. Well, that's because you can't quiet your mouth. You're talking about what you don't know you're talking about. You don't quiet your mind. You wait for the quiet to come. You wait for the quiet moments, the silent moments that will come between the noise between your ears. Aho, aho. Listen for the silence within the noise. And over time, the noise will become fully silent. Aho. I don't sit with my legs crossed and my fingers touching for an hour, 2, 3 hours a day. That's nothing wrong with that. But I get silent within myself. I allow myself to be still. Be still, not distilled. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, spirits. Be still, not distilled. Oh, I remember coming to out of drunks and hangovers in misery and painful, and I would never do it again, and I did it again and again and again, unknowingly, unwillingly, right? I was suspect and I didn't know I was suspect. Oh. So I'm going to end this talk for now because that was a lot of information. Whenever people talk to me, there's a lot of information. And like I said, they like to yeah, but me. Yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. And in Alcoholics Anonymous, newcomers would talk to me and they would say, yeah, but, and I'd poke them in the chest. I would say, you're going to yeah, but yourself to death. Right? I know. What do you know? I don't know. Then be quiet. Don't stop talking. Stop speaking because you feel you have something to say. Be quiet and say to yourself, just listen. Listen from here, H-E-A-R, not from H-E-R-E. Oh. Am I too much for you today? It's Saturday. Hello. Anyways, I want to thank everybody in California who I came in contact with, even at the gas stations coming home and all across, 2 states. I want to thank Reverend Emma Crowmother for giving me the name Walking Crow and leading me to my gateway. She led me to my gateway on my pathway of the red road. And when she saw me do my ceremony on last Sunday, she didn't recognize that ceremony. It was new to her because she had never seen me do that before because I came to Sedona because it was time for me to fly. Aho. Aho. My name is Walking Crow, and I walk on the earth, but I live in the heavens. Aho. I believe that. I believe that to be true. What do you believe? What do you want to believe to be true for yourself? Now, I didn't ask you what you think. I ask you, what do you want to believe to be true for yourself? Aho, aho. My name is Walking Crow, and I have transformed from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. I was never hopeless. I was only helpless. I asked for help, and I remain hopeful. And I live a beautiful life of abundance, of love, of care, of nurturing. A friend took me to my eye surgery yesterday. She took me, and then we went and had dinner and talked, and it was a beautiful time of a fellowship. But because I am able to say yes to those that want to help me, right? I'm able to not stress about it and worry about how I'm going to get there. It just happens and takes place because I am fulfilled, not fool-filled. I'm not F-O-O-L F-I-L-L-E-D. I am F-U-L-L-F-I-L-L-E-D. Aho shinawana honata. Aho shinawana. Hey. So, if there are those of you who feel you are stuck, I can't, I don't know how, I shouldn't, I better not. You tell yourself all the negative stuff. Stop. Talk to somebody who you feel can guide you, who can give you new direction. Do you know if you change your life 1 degree, right? 1 degree will take you way out here to a place that you can never imagine. And I told my friend Michelle Matix, she's here in Sedona last night at dinner, my life is so amazing. My life is but my life, the way that I talk about my life, other people don't see because they can't see past theirs. They can't see past their eyes, past their life. Oh. Allow yourself to catch a new vision. Look at the sun every day it rises and say thank you. Look at the blue sky and say thank you. Look at the grandmother trees, the standing nations, and say thank you. Look at the earth and say thank you. Burn a little sage and say thank you to the fire. Take a breath in and say thank you to the air. Take a little tobacco and offer to the dirt, to the earth, to Madre Tierra, and say thank you. I'm so blessed because I can at least see you. I've had eye issues probably the last 6 weeks, and I've been having stuff done with my eyes, and I have a long road to go. They're much better. But I don't have to see with these, although I want to know. I see with these eyes, and I am able to see the unseeable, or what was unseeable in my previous life, in the first half of my life before I became an elder. Yes, I said I am an elder. I'm an elder. And I get to travel. And I get to live my life. In fact, my uncle, Hector, my mom's, one of her younger brothers, asked me how my life is here in Sedona. How's your life in Sedona? I said, you know what? My life is mine. What did you say, Walking Crow? My life is mine. My life belongs to me. I wake up and I make coffee, and unless I have an appointment or I have to travel, I sit and drink my coffee slowly. I offer tobacco. I burn sage in the morning. I have a ritual that I do that's quiet and still and giving to myself, not to other people, and acknowledging the nature and the world around me. Aho, aho. I acknowledge that. I put my feet on Mother Earth. I don't grab my phone. I don't grab the coffee. I don't grab the keys. I don't grab the car. I don't grab the computer. All the C's, right? All the C's. I grab me first. I put my feet. I take a breath. I say, good morning. Thank you. I love you. Good morning, Grandfather Sun. Good night, Grandmother Moon. Aho. Right? Father Sky. Mother Earth. Stone people. Plant people, water, air, fire. I know you're hearing me because I'm burping. When I burp, I know that I'm affecting you. Aho, aho. Those that are watching, I want you to do something with me, and then I'm going to say happy Saturday. I want you to take your left hand, place it on your heart. I want you to take your right hand, place it on your left hand over your heart, completing the circle of expression of love for the self, right? Expression. Fifth chakra, expression over your heart, fourth chakra. And I want you to repeat after me. I am where love lives. I am what hope looks like. Repeat. I am where love lives. I am what hope looks like. Again. I am where love lives. I am what hope looks like. I am where love lives. And I am what hope looks like. Again, I am where love lives. And I am what hope looks like. I am where love lives. And I am what hope looks like. You are where love lives. And you are what hope looks like. You are where love lives. And you are what hope looks like. Again, you are where love lives, and you are what hope looks like. You are where love lives, and you are what hope looks like. Again, you are where love lives, and you are what hope looks like. Repeat, you are where love lives, and you are what hope looks like. We are where love lives, and we are what hope looks like. Repeat, we are where love lives, and we are what hope looks like. We are where love lives, and we are what hope looks like. Repeat, we are where love lives, and we are what hope looks like. Last time, we are where love lives, and we are what hope looks like. We are where love lives, and we are what hope looks like. Aho. Aho. I am what hope looks like. You are what hope looks like. You just have to open your eyes when you look at yourself and say, I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlook no more. Aho. It's a simple child song, but if you used to sing it, or you can hear it in this way, I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that they overlooked before, that I overlooked before. Overlook no more. I overlook no more. I am the four-leaf clover. The four chambers of the heart, the four chambers of the medicine wheel. Aho. Come into the four directions of healing. Aho. It's just not about my aura, my chakras. There's more to life than double talk and lip service. There's more to life than that. Actually getting silent, actually being still, actually being sacred, becoming sacred. You are sacred. I am sacred. I have always been sacred because I carry the four elements of the world, of the earth, within my emotional body. It's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. And as I sat here, the sun was barely peeking through my curtains. In fact, I have to close my curtains because the sun comes into this room so strongly. But as I would speak, it moved across the window and the sun is shining through the curtains on my face. And you can see that. I want to thank everybody who took the time to listen. There's 9 people listening right now. So 9 is a number of spiritual completion. The birthing number. I was in my mother's tummy for 9 months. Emotional gestation. I hope birthing gestation. And then I was pushed through her canal, her channel, her portal into the light. And then I fed from the memory, right? The memory of the sound of her heart from her mammary. Her memory from her mammary is where I fed from. Aho. I'll leave you with that. My name is Walking Crow, and I am Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. And I'm not here to give you some sort of hocus pocus bullshit. I'm here to lead you to the gateway. The gateway, 11, 2, the pillars, the gateway, the passageway. At 11 years old, we start to become men and women. Women get their moon and boys start to grow hair and they start to notice their penis, their sexuality, all those things. That is the gateway. And then along the way, we get lost. Come back to the gateway. And if you need help, give me a call. Look me up. Go to my website. I'm in Sedona. I do remotes. 818-442-1717. 818-442-1717. Walking Crow at sacreddrummedicine.com. Walking Crow at sacreddrummedicine.com. You are sacred. Make yourself the ceremony. You are the ceremony that you deserve. Take breath in and notice it. Just don't breathe. Just don't breathe. Breathe for yourself. Breathe for your healing. Breathe to be sacred. You are sacred. I am sacred. Aho. You deserve the best of what you have to offer yourself. Not to just settle for the worst or what they give you, the scraps, the table scraps. Aho. I'm worth more than that. You're worth more than that. My name is Walking Crow, and I am Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine, and I want to thank everybody for coming this morning. And please, if you have comments, make comments. And if you don't like what I say, too bad. If I rub you the wrong way, I'm rubbing you the right way, right? You deserve better. I am your advocate. I am an advocate for me, and I am an advocate for you. How can I help you? What can I do for you? You know where to find me. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sacred day.